Hello everyone. I want to have a last little play around with this morning. It's a lovely Sunday morning today. But before I do that, I want to have a chat with my friend. So to chat with my friend, I need to turn on the radio. You see, around here where we live, if you want to talk to anybody, you have to use radio. There is no other means of talking to anybody. Radio is the only means. So we have to...
M1DOZ, M0TPM.
Somebody else is calling over somebody else, so I'll let them call for their friend before I go and speak to who I want to talk to. There was actually no reply from his friend there, so we'll make a call out now. G1HQQ M6XSZ. I wonder if Frank's out there. There is no reply yet. We could try. He might be talking on a different channel to somebody else. No, doesn't appear to be anyone out there. G1HQQ. Are you out there from M6XSZ? Well, there's no reply from Frank yet, but I do need to speak to him, so I'll keep on trying in a minute. I have to sort of blank out the window there because what happens is in the summer when the weather's hot, the sun comes right in here and beats down on the radio and it gets it hot, and when it gets too hot, this radio, bless it, it's from 1980 and it's more than 40 odd years old. You know, so you've got to be careful with it. So I couldn't afford to buy a blind. So this has been here now in this location for about 10 years since I built this room. You know, that's the other radio there for the other means. The CB radio, that one is for other means of communication with other people. I might see if Frank's on that one in a minute. But yeah, man, there's. If you want to talk to someone, this is the way you do it around here where we live. In order to fund the Savage build, I've been selling a lot of equipment that I've had for many years. This is a 1950 or thereabouts, that era somewhere, valved receiver. And for those of you that may be into radio, this is you'll know the model there. This is a good receiver. It doesn't transmit, although you can probably modify it to. I think I've heard rumours of people modifying these to transmit as well. I don't know how you would do that, but you put a lot of other stuff inside it. But yep, I've had to sell this after many years of happy listening to Japanese and Russian radio stations. It's had to go. Unfortunately, the person that's bought it wants it to be posted, and I strongly suspect that the valves inside there will not survive the postage. So this will probably be the end of it. Bless it. But lovely thing. But yeah, it's all going to fund the Savage project. And the weather today it's only 12 degrees, but it's also supposed to be quite windy with a bit of rain. So yeah, man, it's going to be a good day, I reckon. Well, while I'll go and try for Frank in a little while. Frank's also somewhat into RC. Not anymore much, I don't think, but he used to be. So let's take this shell off and see what we need to do. Now, this is all pretty much ready for its first run. Which I intend to do with any luck tomorrow morning. However, one small issue that I need to overcome is that because this engine's slightly taller, it means that the carburetor sits higher up. So that means that when this is attached onto there, like so, when that is actually attached to that and we do full throttle, this piece of linkage that pokes out down there actually hits on this bar here, on this bit of linkage. meaning that it doesn't go to full throttle because they hit each other, and we only get a roughly about 3/4 throttle, maybe a little bit less than 3/4 throttle, which is no good. We don't want to be having 3/4 throttle, do we? We want full blast, you lot. We want full blast, full steam ahead is what we want. So I'm going to have a little play around, trying to see if I can manipulate this in any way. I might be able to higher that up a bit. If I can higher this second part up and put a few washers under it or whatever, just so it clears that. The other option I could do, I'll tell you what I could do, I could move that round a bit, undo the little linkage there, and we could have that moved down, so it's a bit more sort of flat. That would work in that way, then that would clear that, and that'd be better. So I'm gonna have a little play around with it. I probably might end up doing that because that'd probably be the easiest option, and then we'll go from there. Sweet. Right, it's easier for me to show you and take the carb off, or it's easier for me to take the carb off and do it and show you at the same time. So what we need to do is we need to adjust the location of this little attachment here. Now if you undo, there's a little grub screw underneath here. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. See that little grub screw? I've already undone it underneath there. It's 1.5 mil on this particular carburetor. Can't speak for every single carburetor. They may be different sizes on different carbs. Who knows? Anyway, so I've undone it, and I'm going to place it back where it needs to be. The carb is, I mean. And then we can adjust it where I want it, and then I can do a little grub screw back up again, and then we can be happy days. So I've removed the air filtering device, otherwise known as an air filter, so that we can see very clearly the results of what I have just done. Now, by moving this more horizontal, it just about clears the nut on the spur there. Very close, but it does actually clear it. And now we can see when I do full throttle, we do indeed get full throttle. So that is what we need, and it's close, don't get me wrong, it is extremely close. You see there when I do full throttle, it only just misses it, but it misses it. That's the important thing. So this now is ready for its maiden voyage. The second part of the running in process is looming, you lot. The excitement is real, and I tell you what, we all love a piece of excitement, because without excitement we wouldn't be living properly, would we? No, we wouldn't, you lot. Everything should excite you now, everything in life. If your wife doesn't excite you anymore, you need to go and get a mistress. No, I'm only joking. Don't go and get a mistress. I'm only joking. But I couldn't be happy with this so far. I'm really excited to have given it its maiden voyage. I'm just going to put the tank back on now. I've done the carb back up. That's all done, secured. I can't run. This is the spring that came with the engine that was on it, but I can't run this spring on here because with the linkage set up as it is, the spring interferes with that nut and a bit of the carb boot there. So I can't run this. I'm going to go nick another hairband from my daughter, or possibly the wife, depending who's got the thinnest hairbands. I nicked this one the other day, but it's too thick. I need one of the thinner ones. They do little thin ones, don't they? I need one of those to put on there and go around there nicely. And then we're ready to rock and roll, you lot. Oh man, I can't wait. Oh, don't forget, you lot. I've teamed up with Luke's RC shop properly this time, and we are doing now, as of a couple of days ago, a giveaway of a mystery box worth 20 quid, £20 mystery box you could win. The only thing you have to do in order to enter the competition to win is go to Luke's RC shop and buy anything. It doesn't matter what you buy, you can buy anything you want as long as you use the discount code HaggardRC, yeah? Because you must use that code. If you don't use the code, you won't be entered into the competition. And everybody who goes to Luke's RC shop and buys something using the discount code HaggardRC, you'll also get 10% off, by the way, if you use that code. They'll be entered into the competition, and on the 31st of July 2023 is when it'll close. and we'll put all the names who used that code from there in that time period into a random draw, and a name will be picked out, and you'll win a £20 mystery box posted straight to your home. And make sure you put your YouTube name, if you've got a YouTube channel, which you obviously have if you're watching this. Put your name in the special instructions box and I'll check. And if you are subscribed to this channel and you've been subscribed for some time, I will put something extra in the box when you win your mystery box. So yeah man, go and check it out. I tell you what, not yet, but once I start to get the ball rolling with this channel and we start to make a bit of an income, I'll definitely be making, I'll be putting some kind of racing engine in this Savage just for fun, man. I love doing stuff like that. For those of you that may be interested, this was my old car. It was a Mark 1 Focus RS, a 2003 Mark 1 Focus RS, and I don't know whether it's still running that plate or not. That was my plate I had on it. I wonder, I haven't got any photographs of the front or the engine bay. That's the side of it there. If I've got any pictures, I'll put them up on screen, but that had everything. The engine there was completely kitted out with all the rally stuff, racing stuff, for no reason whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? I enjoy it. I had an AP Racing 6-paddle clutch on it. I had an AP Racing light and flywheel. I had would come with forged pistons standard, but I put extra better forged pistons in their Wiseco ones. Or the Wiseco, I can't remember now. Something like that. I had a tubular manifold made up especially to fit, because the ones that they make for them didn't fit properly. I had a straight through exhaust system. I had a bigger 63mm turbo. I changed the charge cooler for an intercooler. I had the cam, because it's a twin cam, because it's a 2-litre twin cam, 16 valve, the Duratec, I think they are engines. I can't remember that, a bloody long time ago. The cams I got from a rally car. They were custom cams. You couldn't buy them off the shelf. They were so high, the lobes were so high on them that in order to fit them, I had to adjust all the valves with the hydraulic valves, but I had to get them adjusted to fit the bloody cams in. The tick over on it was it wasn't a smooth tick over no more after them. That was the nut, really good. The power, you couldn't put the power down, and everyone was like, why are you getting that on a road car? Well, there's no reason why. Are you going to race it? No, but I like that kind of stuff, man. It's just, there's no point to it, but you get enjoyment. And I get enjoyment out of having things that, even if I don't use them properly, it's the physical, just having the thing that I like. So when it comes to these RC cars, although I don't actually do much RCing, I don't actually go around and use these all that much, do I, in comparison to a lot of you lot. Just having them is where my enjoyment is. Putting it on the bench and using it is where my enjoyment is. Using them now and again is fun, but owning them is my enjoyment. Check out this old micrometer. This is probably 60 or 70 years old. It's my dad gave it to me. It comes in very handy when you're checking crankshafts and other places to make sure that there's no wear and you've got an even thing. Very good. I like to keep it in this original case. There we go, you lot. God, that was Sunday, eh? Right, she's all finalised up. Now what I've done is, that black one that I had was too thick. I couldn't really get that to work. So I went and had a little rummage around in the daughter's. She's got like a little unit in her bedroom where she keeps all of her stuff, her hair and all bits and bobs. And I found this purple one, and she'd obviously accidentally probably tied a knot in it at some point with a little loop, and that was absolutely perfect. So I got a knot there with a little loop, and that's gone around there, and I've put it around there. It's actually worked wonders. So that's all right. Normally I use hair bands to do all of them. I mean, on that other buggy up there, that's got a hairband holding it together. Some people use elastic bands. I think you can probably, if you want to spend some ridiculous money, you could probably buy bands which they say are designed specifically for that. But no, I'm going to go with the hairband, because I can do that, and that'll be absolutely fine. So I'm going to just stick the air filter back on there. There we go. That's it. Air filter's back on and we can go and have a happy life. And yes, I dare say some of you will have noticed that I have pulled that out from underneath the air filter there to make sure it's completely seated. Otherwise we could get some dust come in. Yes, I know some of you might have seen it and you might comment and say, no, make sure the hairband is above the air filter. I know, don't worry. So usually Sunday for me is like the day where I sort of catch up on things, you know, because everything's so hectic really. You know, I've got to work 2 jobs at the moment in order to pay for everything I need to pay for in life. So Sundays are like the day where I sort of chill out and I have nothing to do, so I catch up with stuff around indoors. And I have normally, you know, having kids, I have numerous things to repair that they've broken during the week. And this little Nurf gun thing is one of the things which has been broken somehow. I reckon there's a little plunger inside there, and that little plunger is what makes the air to force out the little dart bullet thing. There's 4 screws on the bottom of it, so let's take it apart and see what's inside, and then I've got to fix something else and something else before I go and carry on with the day. So, you have to excuse the wire. Camera's battery's crap these days, so I have to have it on charge most of the time. So, I think I was right, you know. Inside here is a very simple design, little rubber plunger. Yeah. You pull that back and it clicks in place. This little O-ring on here sucks in air and it makes a seal. And when you pull the trigger, that goes forward quickly, and the little dart goes in the end here. And obviously, when that air this is clipped back in there, and when the air is forced, when you pull the trigger, it releases the piston. This is called a piston. It's a piston. Not the whole lot. That's a rod. That's a piston. Separate things. When that's released, that fires forward with a spring, which then forces the air up the shaft, pushing the dart out. Away we go. We've got several of these same ones, and they work quite well. But this one is a bit handicapped recently for some reason. So I can't see anything majorly wrong. I mean, there's a little bit of grease in there, which is good. The O-ring needs grease in order to make a seal. If it's dry, it won't seal properly, and the oily grease makes a seal. It's not very well in focus. I do apologise. Interesting. Well, I'm going to clean it up actually. I'm going to clean all the grease and oil and everything off of it and see what happens, and I'll have to re-grease it after. It can't be that hard to make work unless that little O-ring, maybe that O-ring's at it. Yeah, maybe the O-ring's perished. I might have to get the O-ring box out and stick a new ring on it and see what happens. So that's the old one. I've managed to find in my box of O-rings. I've found one that fits perfectly. So we'll stick that on there. It sticks out a little bit more proud than the old one did. I reckon what happened is it's just worn out. Because these are quite old. I don't know what one this is, how old this one is. We've had these for somewhat many years now. 2010. You can normally tell by the copyright. The copyright on that one's 2010. So we've had these for what's that? 13 years. 13 years roughly we've had these guns now. They do get a lot of use. I mean, not only the kids play with them, I mean, we play with them as well. We love having Nurf wars. It's brilliant fun. So anyway, let's put this back together with a new O-ring, a little bit of grease around it, and see what happens. Right, so I had to go back and go to a size down again, which fitted a bit more snugly, and I managed to get it in there. So I've put 2 screws in for the time being. Let's alright, got to use my knees. Alright, let's stick a bullet in there. Hopefully now we've got a bit more of a better seal and it can force that air out like it's supposed to. So here we go. Well, it's better than it used to be. How's it going? Much better than it used to be. Not quite how it's supposed to be, but it's better than it used to be. I think we'll call that a win for now. Might be a bit better if I stick a bit more grease around it or whatever, and that'll be absolutely fine. Well, that's job done, I reckon. Just a bit more grease. Away we go. Put some more of that little dielectric grease around it, and And now it's a lot better than it was. It's not quite as good as it used to be when it was new, but I'll tell you what, that's pretty good if you ask me. That's more than enough for what a little kid needs. Nice. Pack everything back up and carry on with life. So the next one I've got to repair, but I don't know if I'll get around to it today because I've got something more important to repair. It's this gun. It's a gel gun. It fires those little gel or water-filled pellets, you know, the little balls. You stick them all in that magazine. Pretty good fun. They're a nightmare. You can't pick them up after and reuse them because they'll get covered in dirt and they burst and things. They get everywhere, but they are good fun to use. However, this one being used by my brother, actually, I think is the one that caused the damage to it, but it gets used by the kids and everything. The battery there, but you've got the power cable, and it's all where they've tried to jam it in, and they've caught it on this thing, and when they're trying to put the handle back on after putting the battery goes in there. What they've done is that they've caught the power cable there, positive, in several different places, and that's all. That's here as well, look. And what happens is, because it's not making a very good connection a lot of the time, you'll be using it and it'll stop, and then they get frustrated. And also I think the battery's shorted out as well, because the battery's not very good anymore, so I needed to get a new battery thing for it. But I don't think I'll get around to this today. I've got more important things to do, but that's another thing on the list of things to repair in the life of me. That's my little toolkit for the day. Got me a strimming hat, helmet thing for strimming, goggle glasses and my gloves. Overalls, got to go and do a bit of mechanicking. Got to repair a ride-on lawnmower. Got all my bits and bobs there, look. And engine start, very important. WD-40 oil jump pack, which is no good. I need to get a new one, but they're damn expensive these days. And that is what the day's going to bring. Anyway, so there she is, ready to go. Transmitter's there. All I've got to do is set up my little bag with everything that I might need, and I'll be giving it a blast on my way to work tomorrow morning. Well, I'll catch you a lot later on. The next time you see me will be when I'm giving that Savage its maiden voyage on some fresh tarmac, probably on the way to work. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you later on. Remember, be at peace with your past, don't let it ruin your future, and just love life and look after each other and look after yourself, more importantly. Catch you later on. All the best.